Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary Stroop Family Foundation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, Kern High School District, and AC Electric Company, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Here we are, your favorite and my favorite part of the show, math in the real world, where we can answer the age-old question, when are we going to use this, right? That's the question that all math students seem to have. And we're here with Mrs. Cox. Thank you so much for your time today. We want to know a little bit about this new facility because we're excited to hear here at the ROC Center, right? This is a new vet tech clinic. We want to know all about that. But first of all, tell us a little bit about ROC and what happens at this place.
Okay, ROC, we are Kern High School District answer to having all students graduate both college and career ready.
Okay.
And so for career, we do career and technical education right here. And we have a training facility where we have over 35 different programs. And one of the programs is going to be highlighted today. But our goal is that all students can graduate from here, earning a certification here in any industry and get out and ready for an entry-level job.
Man, they're ready to work.
Yes.
And you can't always say that with some paths, right? They just
True.
require some more training, but these paths specifically lend themselves to working right away.
That is correct.
What an amazing opportunity.
Right, and right now with Kern High School District expanding in career and technical education all over Bakersfield, we're building a brand new facility out there, but we want you to know some of the great things we're doing right here at the Regional Occupational Center, and we've expanded 5 brand new programs, and so today I think you're going to get an opportunity to tour one of those programs.
Let's do that, yeah. Who's waiting for us over here? We want to know. Oh my
I'm
goodness.
going to introduce you to our doctor.
Hi, doctor.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Tell us a little bit about what you do here and where we're going to go and what we're going to see today, because I'm excited.
Well, this is the ROC School of Veterinary Science, so
Okay.
we're pretty excited. It's not uncommon to see birds and rabbits and dogs and cats from the shelter even,
Okay.
and even a gecko every now and then.
All right, so there's no limit on the animals that can come in
No,
here.
we see all sorts of animals.
All right, so you have created a facility in which students can learn about the veterinary industry, right? And they can learn both book smart and they can learn hands-on stuff.
Exactly.
Right?
And
Tell us what role
grooming.
you had in
Yeah.
creating this program and creating this facility.
I was actually hired last year from industry, which means
Okay.
I was hired, I was a clinical veterinarian,
Okay.
and I had some teaching experience, and they said, hey, we're going to build a teaching hospital. How would you like to teach in it? And what a great facility and what a great staff to help us to do that.
Right.
So we also have a registered veterinary technician, which is the equivalent of an RN.
Okay.
Actually closer to a physician assistant on the veterinary side.
Okay.
So we're both here teaching students hands-on and math skills.
Nice. And you have the experience to back it up. Okay, let's see some of this
About
place.
42 years.
All right. Wow. Doesn't get much better than that. That's a good deal. Okay, so,
So this is the
this is
lobby.
the lobby. Yeah.
This is where somebody would come in with their pet, and students will actually be here making appointments and greeting clients and discovering what the problem is, and then leading them to an examination room.
Okay.
So this
So
is
just
one
like
of
a
the-
regular vet that you go
This
to,
is
you
a
would
regular
be.
veterinary hospital.
Okay.
It's still currently in construction, so you'll see some boxes here and there. So this is an examination room.
Right.
This is where the patient would get a physical exam. We would determine what the patient needs as far as testing and treatment. We have a full pharmacy. We have an x-ray room. We have ultrasound. We have dentistry. And we have a double surgical suite. So we can actually do surgeries. So the students are learning how to take x-rays, they've actually seen a couple of ultrasounds in various stages of pregnancy already.
Wow.
So got to see little baby puppies.
So you just throw them right in there so they can really get some good experience here.
Right.
And much more exciting than just looking at the pages of a book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they actually get to listen to a heart and calculate a heart rate.
Okay, good deal. All right.
Yeah.
So what other kind of facilities do you have here? You have this is the examination room, right?
Right.
And then where might they go from here?
Well, the doctor would come in this door, and a student would be here getting a history from the client, getting a heart rate and respiration rate,
Okay.
taking a temperature, and then this is the pharmacy area. There'll be soon to be computers going in here with a computerized medical record system. That's a pharmacy fridge where vaccines would be kept and pharmaceuticals to be dispensed from here. And the students would be filling the prescriptions, and we would be checking them because they have to learn a special language
Right.
to fill a prescription. Plus, they have to be able to do dosage calculations
Sure.
and make sure they have enough pills of the right number and the right concentration to go home with pet.
Wow.
So they would be doing that.
It really is all in-house, but there's
Right.
more.
There's more. What if the patient needed surgery, or what if it had a laceration?
Right.
Then we would be going into this area, which is the treatment area.
Oh my gosh.
We have 3 treatment tables, and in the middle is a demo table that goes up and down.
Okay.
And that's where the students need to know the Tridian system, which is numbers.
Numbers.
The
Hey, hooray
teeth
for
are
numbers.
numbered, yes. So that's called the canis major, goes up and down.
Okay.
Right.
I like it.
That's the surgical room. There's anesthesia machines in there, and guess what? They have to know percentage of anesthesia,
Right.
which is a number.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt about
Important.
that. Because not
Very
enough won't do what you want to do, and too much, of course, is really dangerous, right?
And you can see EKG machines in the background, and we have those. And over in the corner is the X-ray room. Intensive care is over there, the surgical scrub station, and in that corner is the in-house laboratory, and where we do lab tests for patients to see if their kidneys are okay, do they have enough platelets to clot?
Right. Right.
So the students will be drawing blood.
Oh
They'll
my
be
gosh.
running the lab tests, checking urine to see if there's an infection, doing all of that.
And once a student comes through this program and gets a chance to be in all of these stations, are they ready to work in a vet's office?
They're ready to begin, and they'll go to community classroom, and they'll either be here with us seeing patients, or they'll be at a local veterinary office seeing patients.
Okay.
They can move on from there, going on to college to become an RVT or veterinarian. To apply to veterinary school, they have to have clinical experience, so they get their start here.
Right.
To be an RVT, you have to have clinical experience, so they get their start here.
Yeah, they get their start here, and they have to know math. So I
Yes.
know that my sister teaches equine science at Modesto Junior College, and she has students all the time that say, I want to be a vet. I want to be a vet. She says, well, you must love math. And they say, oh, no, I don't like math. She says, well, that may either have to change, or you might want to find something else new, because there is
Math
a ton
has a
of math.
bad rap, and you know what? The kids learn to love it here.
Yes, they do.
Because they see how important it is.
Yeah.
They see it translated into real life versus it being just on a page.
Right.
So
Right, right.
I told them, you know what? You do math every day when you choose a pizza, right?
Yep.
It's not a whole pizza you're eating, right?
Right. It's a fraction of that
It's
pizza.
a fraction of that pizza. Guess what? Or you can eat a half pizza or quarter pizza, or you can eat a whole one in pieces.
There you go. Good deal.
So we always do math whether we realize it or not.
Good deal. We're so appreciative of your time. I know I learned a ton, and I think I might have to maybe even bring you a patient or two from my place. We have a
That
dog
would
that
be
might need a little bit of
fun.
effort here. We're going to go ahead and leave our famous Do the Math tile. Thank you so
Ooh,
much for your time.
excellent.
Maybe you can add this in the last bit of construction, and that can be part of your facility. And
Outstanding.
man, such a neat place. I learned a ton already. We also want to know what else the students are actually doing today. I think we're going to go see some grooming and fun stuff like that. That's right, we're back with a little math in the real world, and we want to know exactly what really is going on here at the ROC Center. So we have Janice Anderson with us. Really appreciate your time today. This is an amazing place to be. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what part of this program that you teach?
Well, I've actually been involved with animals my entire life.
Okay.
My grandfather was a large animal vet, so it was kind of a given.
Right.
Ultimately, that led me to breeding and showing purebred dogs. And then I relocated to Kern County and ended up purchasing a board and care facility. I'd been managing one down south, so
Okay.
I wanted to take that next step and have my own business.
Good.
So I provide boarding, grooming, training, and transportation for dogs, cats, and cage pets. I also do pet transportation and relocation worldwide, and I still breed purebred dogs and I exhibit them as well.
My goodness, so you have lots of extra time on your hands.
Yeah, right.
Maybe not so much. Okay, so along with all those amazing things you do, you are also here at ROC.
I am, and actually what led me to this is when I moved to Kern County, I found out about the ROC program, and ultimately we got involved. I've been on the advisory committee for well over 20 years, and also we've been a community classroom. So second semester, we actually have students that come out and they spend that second semester on site and learn by doing, so to speak.
And that's the best part about this, right? That's why we're here. We want to know how math works in the real world. These students are learning.
They're learning
by doing.
And they're learning about business. Ultimately, they're learning how to be involved in a business as an employee. We're also teaching them skills if they wanted to take that next leap and become a business owner. And so I stress all the time with them that they really have to understand business. You've got taxes, you've got payroll, you've got all these things that they have to be aware of, and that's all about the numbers.
Bunch of numbers, that's it. So with this amazing new facility, and we have some students that are working here, can we see a couple things about what's going on today? Sure.
What we're doing is we're doing grooming.
Okay.
So we have it set up. We've got our tables, hydraulic tables, makes it easier on them. Right now, the animals that we do use are either coming from employees of the school district, students, and we also go to the shelter and we bring animals over from the shelter.
Because the shelter is really close to
It's
here.
right next door.
Yeah,
So
what a wonderful audience you have there.
well, and the nice thing is that if we can clean these dogs up, we help them to get homes.
Good point.
So, you know,
and make
it's
sure they're healthy. They have lots of other aspects to that.
exactly,
as well,
and
right?
that really allows for the students to do the things they need to learn, both on the vet side as well as on the grooming side.
Right. So when a student comes in here at the beginning of the semester, do they start in this room?
Actually, they start with Dr. Hudek and in the vet tech side. I just came on in the last few weeks, and so we're now kind of going over the basics about learning about the industry and the things that we need to do, the proper steps that need to be taken when working on the animals.
Right, gotcha. So they learn a little bit about the medical part, or at least the health of the animal first.
Exactly.
Which makes a ton of sense to me, and
Well,
then they
yeah.
can make them look better.
Right, because what they do is, the very first thing they do when they bring them over is they do what they call intake. So the students are going to examine the animal, they're going to take its temperature, respiration, all those kinds of things. So they're acting on the vet side, doing all of that, and having to learn, you know, how to convert to kilograms from pounds and, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Hooray for math.
yeah.
Okay, so can you tell us what these students are doing over here? What's going on? How are they
Actually,
looking
right
at this
now what
dog
they're
here?
doing is they're putting him back. This is one of the dogs we brought over from the shelter.
Okay.
We gave him a bath earlier, did his toenails.
Okay.
As you can see, he's a smooth-coated dog, so there's not a whole lot of work that goes into it. But he's very nervous,
Yeah, I was gonna
obviously.
say, he's got a lot of blue shirts around him.
Yeah, you know, and you know, a thing that people don't realize, that like a lot of the dogs are in the shelter for a reason, and a lot of it has to do with a lack of training. So they're not socialized, they're not exposed to things. So this is a wonderful opportunity for the animals. It makes them a little better to handle once they do go over there. Like with him, we turned the dryer on, he totally freaked out.
I bet.
So we're not going to put him in that situation and make him more upset. So we just hand dried him and towel dried him, which basically he got a massage.
Yeah.
And so he's much calmer now than he was when he arrived.
Right. Okay, and so you get them all cleaned up, and then what happens after that? Is there
Well,
a full...
they'll go back to the shelter dogs will be returned to the shelter,
sure. Okay.
and then hopefully they'll be adopted.
Right.
You know,
right. That's what
it's a
we're shooting
win-win.
for. Yeah.
That's our goal.
No doubt.
And
now,
then,
here at your facility, do you do vaccinations and other things like that?
are currently doing vaccinations. Okay.
Okay, so next semester,
Yeah.
we're looking to do some more of that stuff too.
Baby steps.
That's right. Oh, totally. And with the facility, it has pretty much endless potential. You can do
Well,
all kinds of things.
I'm a full service vet.
Right.
You know, we've got
right.
surgery and everything. So
That's
as you know, and it's brand new, so it's
Right.
working into it and making things happen.
The students that are enrolled in your class, how do they get going? Do they have to do some prerequisites while they were in high school, or they just say, "Hey, I'm interested, off I go"?
I believe with ROC, it's a question of them at their high school level meeting with their counselors and making a determination they want to participate in an ROC program.
Hey, a whole lot of math in the real world going on out here at the ROC Center and the Vet Tech program, and we wanted to make sure we spotlight a little bit of the different parts that a student goes through. We saw some hands-on stuff with the grooming, and now we want to see the book smart part where the math really comes into effect here in the classroom. And so we have these students doing some amazing things that even I don't know what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and turn over and let's see what where this lesson goes.
Okay, so we're gonna do this like it's one of our cases, okay? So Bella, the Chihuahua, just came in from outside. Her face is swollen and she is pawing at her muzzle. Dr. Simpson would like you to give 1 milligram per kilogram of Benadryl IM. Bella weighs 9.6 pounds, so what do we need to do to the pounds before we make that decision? Convert it into kilograms. Good job. Dr. Simpson would also like you to give 0.5 milligrams per kilogram of Dex SP IV. So what do I need to put up here at the top, guys?
1 milligram over 1 kilogram.
What goes in this bottom portion?
Kilograms. When you convert 9.6, you end up getting 4.36 kilograms.
Good job. And then how many mgs per ml is the Benadryl?
50 milligrams.
Good job. So what are we going to do with these two numbers?
Multiply.
When we get that answer, what do we do with that?
Divide.
Perfect. So what answer did we get for our Benadryl?
0.08 milliliters.
0.08? Okay. And then did we get our Dex SP dose yet?
Yeah. 0.545.
And is it cc's or mLs?
They're the same.
Good job.
Solid. How'd you learn how to do all this stuff? My goodness. You all been practicing doing problems where you give doses of medications to different pets, is that right? Okay. And so what kind of goes into the background of being able to do that? I mean, as far as your conversion factors and all that fun stuff. Did you learn, like when you're canceling out your units and all that fun stuff, where did that come from?
Oh, we learned it.
Yeah? Did you do a lot of practice problems?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so do you all get a chance to go next door and administer these medications, or is that coming up later?
Not yet.
Not yet. Right. We want to make sure we know the background of it, right? So that we know what to do before we make any mistakes, because making a mistake on that level would be a bad idea, right? Bad news. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your background. We talked a little bit next door to some students or to one of the teachers, and we wondered how you get involved in a program like this, right? Did you talk to your counselor and say, hey, I want to be a vet, or I just don't want to be on campus anymore. I want to do something different. How do you get started out here at ROC? Okay, so you got to have good grades.
Then you
right.
put in the application,
Okay.
and then you go to your counselor.
Okay, gotcha. So the counselor gets you all going. And did you all decide to do this specific program or just ROC in general? Okay, gotcha. So what attracted you about this specific program? Why this one?
I think what attracted me is that like no other place or like program I think in the current high school district, and I think it can say for like a lot of high school districts, can like actually have you work in an environment where you're in a hospital 24/7. You're working with animals, everything is hands-on. You go from the classroom to the hospital, and it goes back and forth. So everything you learn here, you learn over there.
Would you say, I already know the answer, but I want to hear you say it. Would you say it's easier to do some of the book work when you know where it's going to be applied next door, right? When you know where it's going to be applied with an actual animal, where you know you don't have to ask that age-old question, when are we going to use this, right? You don't have to, I know when I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this in an hour next door when I'm actually doing this stuff, right? So it's a lot more motivation to be able to do what you want to do. Yeah, we're so grateful that you guys let us come out here. If you were to suggest something, right, since you have so much experience now at the ROC Center, if you were going to suggest something to a student who is currently in high school, what would you suggest they do to prepare to come to a program like this? Something pop to your mind?
I think they should at least be pretty good with algebra and like proficiency in like basic rules
Okay.
of math, because you're going to need that when you're trying to do conversions for medications and things like that.
So even if math isn't your favorite thing, you got to have some basic skills, right? So that you can do the things you want to do. Maybe even a means to an end, so we can make sure that we get the right things. Gosh, grateful for your time.